Welcome to Bottom Line Sports Talk. I'm George Abraham. You know my partner Albert Cam. And Albert, the hay is almost in the barn. Not quite. Some interesting developments at YSU. I see these little vignettes on TV when they call it. The other day they had one where they pretended to order a pizza. And they come in, the coach said, "Who ordered this pizza?" And eventually
is that awesome?
It was going to be a scholarship thing. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, YSU, local kids getting scholarships, makes their families happy, makes the local fans happy, and most of all, makes the kids happy. Congratulations to Jalen Hewitt as he gets his name called and gets sent to the front. Also, Pat Mininock from Newcastle, he gets his name called.
Remember, he was a tyke when we knew him. Do you remember?
Yes,
we worked him out. Combed all perfect.
We worked him out.
He was
he's a stud now.
I'll bet he's a monster.
He's a stud now.
Yes.
And Jake Cummings also got his name called, and Mike McAllister got his name called. Three of them are local kids, from two of them from Youngstown, one from Newcastle. Congratulations to all those kids, as Coach Bo has called them to the front and said, "Hey, I want you to come into the meeting here, into the middle here." And George, they're not sure when they come into the middle.
No, because somebody done something wrong.
Yes.
Now, you know what you do? We talked about this before with somebody. The coach called him up. You keep thinking all this stuff you did wrong. Did they find it? Did I not?
This happened 4 years ago.
Did I not go to class? Did I park in the wrong spot?
Right.
When you're on, it's like being on the way to the principal's office. All right, what do we do?
It's the truth, and especially young kids.
Sure.
Who have put their heart and soul into it. And Jalen Hewitt said it best. He said, sometimes you're hoping it's good, but you're not sure. They said Coach Pelini used a commanding voice to call him in. So he didn't give it away, George. He didn't smile when he was coming in.
No. And like you said, with today's world, like that cost being defrayed.
Yes,
that's what nobody talks about. They all, it's a cute story. It's just, how about calling home and saying, "Hey, you don't need X $1,000.
Yes. Yeah, mom's in tears, no question about it. Dad's looking at his bank account so
Dad's
happy.
getting a new game room or something out of that.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You got to get a new man cave or something with the money. Maybe kick a squeeze a used car out of it or something. You know?
Well, I just know that when coaches do this, they don't realize somebody's life they're changing. Mm-hmm. And we do. We understand it completely. So congratulations to those four young men as they move forward in their careers at YSU.
When you go on there people were asking about it the other day. We got a call they call you a walk-on. It's basically you get a tryout and you make the team.
Yes.
Then if you get to be good enough, this kind of thing happens. But there are a lot of walk-ons at big schools that don't get it and pay their own way.
Yeah, the one we know of this is Pat Mininock. Patrick worked out in basketball for us at a young age.
Oh, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, no question about it. He then moved on and became captain at Newcastle. Attended slip rope and said, "I think I can do better." Jeez. And he had always had a confidence with him. His dad's gigantic in the weight room in Pennsylvania, runs a lot of weight room stuff, and Patrick is taken into that weight room. And all this is paid off for a scholarship, not only for Patrick, but these other three men.
Congratulations, guys. Coach Pelini, well done, buddy. Now you got a week to get ready for Stanford. I just hope the quarterback isn't nearly as good as the one that's with the Steelers.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Because that bad boy can play.
You said it all along.
Mm-hmm. And I know preseason, I know it's lift drivers, I know it's bouncers. But I also know when someone can play. I watched Baker Mayfield last year get in there.
And you thought the same thing.
Hey, Al, I said, I don't know. He said, I said, I know, Albert. This guy got a look about him. And this kid, he's going to play somewhere.
Yeah, I think his name's House. He's
going to be the backup.
Yeah, that's what he did. As George took my line. Yeah, he might not make it for the Steelers because they have three good quarterbacks.
Yeah.
But somebody's going to pick him up, and he's going to be on a practice squad, get better. Maybe 2 years from now, see him starting in the NFL. That's the way it works.
Al, I think the running back from Arizona, from Slippery Rock, same. You said it the other day.
Hills kid, yes.
People are looking at him, and eventually Arizona's not going to have room for him.
That's what happens. And if you do it early in camp, a lot of time the coaches will release you early. Well, I guess they can't do that anymore. That is right. They can't do that anymore.
Well, we have a buddy that's an agent, and this mass letting them go at the same time really it's like all this, water into the drain. Only so much can go through at one time. Somebody's going to get overlooked.
Yes.
And someone's going to get a good look.
Yeah, and what he made clear to us was the agents have to check the injury lists of all the teams, and have prior touch with them, saying, "Hey, we got a great running back, it might get cut. I see you need one." So they have to do a good job of recognizing who needs the needs now. Needs more than
Like you said,
the athletic
be
thing.
first in the drills. Do all that stuff that just gets you their attention.
Get their
You
attention.
can do that.
You got to get their attention, and
This kid from Slippery Rock, he
he can play.
oh my God,
He can
he's
definitely
a big
play.
runner. He wanted to leave last year right away. I told my buddy, he said, "I don't know if I like it there." He was thinking of going to Valdosta, and my buddy still told me, "So you go to Slippery Rock, you're the guy."
Worked out for him, didn't it?
It worked out
It
well.
did work out for him.
All right, let's talk men's basketball. They're taking a trip. Tell you what, nice place to go. Beats going to Alaska in my mind. But
Yes.
3 games in the Virgin Islands.
The Virgin Islands. I wanted to read up more on it, and I found out that college basketball can do this once every 4 years. And, it's not like an every year thing. And so when you get that opportunity, Coach Calhoun decided, let's go to the Virgin Islands, get 3 games in. Let's work on our bonding. Let's work on our team development. Let's work on all the things you do this time of year to try to become a great team next February. So they are in the Virgin Islands. They are there to play the University of Calgary and a Virgin Islands national team. The games mean very little, but the camaraderie means a lot for YSU Penguins.
Yeah, I think especially when they don't have an identity. They can say what they want. One year they tried to play like Leo and Marymount.
Right.
Then last year they found themselves toward the end of the year with a little momentum. And so they're going to have to find a system. And, maybe they got 1 or 2 guys to, step in. Now all of a sudden you're 8, 9 deep and you can compete in the horizon. Because if you don't, you know what I mean? You're going to be treading water.
Yeah, the key there, what George said, is 8, 9 deep in the NCAA realm of Division I.
Yeah.
You're not winning with six players. Yeah, it's a long season.
No.
30-some games, even close to 40 games. You're going to play a long. You're going to need depth. Take over for guys that are struggling. Take over guys that are injured. YSU's doing that right now, trying to get 9 players together, George, to play.
Yeah, root for them. I'd like to be able to come over and
Every time.
see some good ball
Yes.
and such. The women seem to be about a half a step ahead.
Yeah, Coach Barnes hasn't improved it. They gave him a nice paycheck for what he's done there, and he goes out and gets shooters. I think if the YSU men's team shoots the ball well, they can be dangerous because Coach Calhoun has them playing hard. So,
Oh, yeah.
yes,
Yeah, he's done a good job. I mean,
right.
2 years, it takes time. It really does. I mean, we're always of the opinion once you go in, it's your team. I don't want to hear
We don't hear that,
blaming
no.
the old guy, but
No.
at the same time, we know it takes time.
Yes.
Let's talk Major League Baseball for a minute. Best races are in the Centrals, both sides. Let's talk first about the National League. You got the Cubs, the Cards, and the Brewers. It's going to come down to the last day. If there was a tie and I had to play, one more game, I wouldn't be shocked. I see weaknesses in both teams. I see some good things about both teams, but I don't see either of the 3 going out and winning 15 in a row.
No, as I look at the league that George just described, who can win on the road is going to succeed.
The Cubbies, yesterday, first time since June, they won that game at the Little League field.
Yeah, they have not won on the road at all.
The series.
And the other teams don't either. So who can play 500 ball? That's right. I didn't say 10 games over. 500 ball on the road and then come home and play like you played all year. Then you'll represent the league and the wild card. If not, you'll sit home.
When I look at the not pitching aside, when I look at the 8 for St. Louis, I look for the 8 for the Cubs and Brewers. I see more. I see a little more slugging, a little more. But those dang Cardinals, we've learned from history, don't count them out.
They have young players who can really pitch, and that's good. And they got a bullpen now of Miller and Martinez that's doing the job.
Okay.
Right now, George, that's what's happening. The Cubs and Brewers, the reason they're there, they can't get anybody out after the 7th inning. And there's no one playing today baseball. If you don't have it, you're if they had it, they'd be running away with the league. They just don't have it.
They got the guy back yesterday that hangs the arm down, and he's a third of his old self. He's not
Right, not even
He
close.
used to come in there and it was over. And he used to tease you. He'd walk a guy, get it, but then he'd shut the door. Now he doesn't.
Yeah, and that's why they waited to pay him $45 million for a long time, and then he hurt his arm.
Yeah.
But you need that. You need that closer. We also need 7th and 8th, and no one has that right
Don't
now.
the Pirates
No
know
one
that?
has that.
Does anyone know that more than the
No,
Pirates?
most of them don't. We know the Pirates around here, but the Brewers have been worse. And Washington's been even worse. And so you're talking about teams that are making the
I
playoffs.
saw Hader come in the other day.
Just hitting the bats.
But he had the bases loaded. The one that went like 15 innings. And they had bases loaded, infield in, outfield in. Didn't he wiggle out of that and they won in about 3 innings?
Yeah, he's the one that gave up the runs to tie it, but he did give up the.
Then the next day, they put a 15 spot on him or something. National. Now they come to Pittsburgh.
Now, Nationals they're going to play a tough schedule, so they got to make hay with Pittsburgh and Baltimore when they play.
Baltimore. Wait. I was looking through the thing today, scores and odds, and I saw Baltimore's favorite over. I'm trying to think, are they playing Taiwan or who would they be an 8-5 favorite over?
Yeah, it has to be.
Has to be Detroit.
Has to be Detroit.
I can't imagine.
It can't be anybody else but
No,
Detroit.
but how about the Indians? You go to Yankee Stadium, and they can say what you want. They can still beat you 11-10, the Yankees. And they can win the first, win the fourth, split. I think you leave town 4 games with the Yanks in the rear view, and you say, you know what, I'll take that.
Yeah, and that's a great series for the Indians going into New York.
Yeah.
And coming out 2-2. When you look at the Indians, they have a young staff right now that's really pitching good baseball. Clemenger and Bieber are both outstanding, and once again, their bullpen is held up, and they continue to do that. Then the Cleveland's going to be there at the end.
Yeah, no more Cody Allen. My buddy, my phone.
They like Cody Allen.
Every time they put him in.
Fans didn't like Cody.
My phone rang. I knew I didn't have to be watching the Indians game. It'd be about 9:30, and I'd look and
Cody Allen time.
they must have put Cody Allen there. The rest, they've done it now. Pirates lose at Williamsport. I think there's nothing to say, but I've always said this. When teams like the Indians in Minnesota, you make your hay when you're playing Detroit and Kansas City.
You have to.
I don't put the White Sox in that category.
No, not as bad, but they're still beatable.
Yeah.
They're not as bad.
You have to beat them.
I'm talking about the good teams.
Oh, yeah.
The good teams have to beat them.
No.
You can't let those teams beat you.
Exactly.
You're going to split with the Yankees, and you're going to split with the whatever.
Yeah, but
you got to
boy,
beat those teams.
Detroit, just ridiculous.
They can't score and they can't pitch.
He let the guy Jay go the other day. Just cut him loose.
He hasn't done anything.
Yeah,
he's done nothing at all.
Trout, is it the night games? Or is it the fact that they're not a contender or a little of both?
My guess.
He's going to hit 50 homers, not get 120, score 100, and I don't hear anything.
My guess is baseball, first of all, doesn't do a great job from promoting him. And secondly, he has that personality and stays back in the background. So when you don't see him playing at 7 o'clock at night,
Okay.
and like you said at 11:30 at night, you're never following it. He just puts up big numbers. He's a Hall of Famer. He's a Hall of
His
Famer.
bat do his talking.
Yeah, he
his
is.
fielding.
He's a tremendous
Boy,
baseball player.
Do I
all
like
over
that
the field.
guy?
Yes, all over the field. He's number one player by far. Everybody else comes in a far second to him.
Yeah, there's no 1A or 1B.
No.
Let's talk NFL a little bit. You and I, we're of the opinion that if you watch those preseason games, beware because it's like black magic, like it's deception. They're trying to tell you it's a game, but it's not really a game. They're charging you full prices, but the Rams go and don't take their players. Now to me, I would think you'd take them along. Serious. Don't you find something awful in the fact that they didn't go along?
They don't even think about today. They're so far different from us team-wise. Everybody practices differently with regards to the regulars. They're not treated at all like the taxi squatters. But we've said this for a long time. Yeah. The only thing that's happening right now, it's wide open in the out because now they're not playing at all. Before they used to get ready for a third game.
Yeah, like this week, you'd think Roethlisberger for a half. I'll bet you 2 series.
Yeah, they don't play him at all. Some of them don't play at all. They're not playing.
Goff's not playing.
They're not playing one.
Gurley's not playing.
Not playing
the
one
kid from
play.
Le'Veon Bell. They just said yesterday.
They're not playing one play, and I'm trying to figure out how the owners can look somebody in the face and charge them this money.
Yeah, when you get that book of 10 tickets, I get 8 of them. Mm-hmm. I don't get those other 2 the same price.
Now, New England, I heard something. New England charges $60, $70 for exhibition, and $150 for 160, and $200 for a game in regular season.
Fair.
That's what they do. They make the money
even
out.
I get you.
They even out the money.
I'll take it.
But they just won't charge the same amount.
I remember I went to my first, what I thought was a game. It was the Redskins and Colts. And I go, and Billy Kilmer's got his hat on backwards. He's standing behind.
So you saw it a long time ago.
And I realized this isn't going to be a game. And you know what else is going on? They're all going to these places and practicing with them 3 days before the game.
That's a new thing too.
And here's what I'm saying. I read a thing the other day, like Garoppolo threw 5 interceptions in practice. I wonder if that was against Denver, because they had been together for 3 days. You know, you'd hope.
And they don't care one bit. If he throws 13 interceptions,
He's still playing.
They don't care one iota what's happening. As
Just
George
get out of
says,
their lives.
Just make sure you're healthy. You'll see game one. But I will say this, George. And I'll say this. I heard this somewhere. I don't remember. The early season games are poor because of it.
I agree.
Because they
Has
haven't.
to be.
Because they haven't played
No,
at all.
they haven't practiced.
You know,
Has
since you don't practice, so now games 1 and 2, you're thinking, man, they had 13 penalties.
Yep.
They threw 3 interceptions.
I
Well, there's a
think-
reason why.
I think some unders early.
They don't do a job.
You know
of
that? I mean, that's just my first instinct.
I get it. They're just
I
not
mean,
ready to
'cause
play.
These guys aren't. They're not even trying. I mean, you know, I call it theft by deception.
It
You know,
is.
it's just that simple. Lift drivers versus bouncers.
That's about it.
1 goal, no
No
injuries.
injuries, yeah.
That's all we care about.
That's it.
Now, it translated into not playing. I get that, as I said. But when I found out the other day that Goff wasn't even there, Gurley wasn't even. Hey, we knew Gurley was damaged goods in that.
You
Super
did.
Bowl,
I didn't know
too.
that.
There's something wrong with us, dude.
Yeah, you didn't know that.
A
They're
year
saying
later.
arthritis. They're saying arthritis.
What is he, 30 years old?
I have no idea.
I got
hurts that
arthritis.
bad. Yeah, I know arthritis hurts that badly, but I guess it must.
All right.
I have no idea.
Don't read too much. I know the Brownies are doing great, and I know
Zero.
there's optimism, but
Well, they should have optimism.
yeah.
They have good players, but not in the preseason.
Jets and Titans first 2 weeks. The people that concede those are fools.
No doubt about it.
Because you know what Tennessee wants to do. They want to give the ball to that monster back there
Tennessee was
35 times.
They were close to a playoff team last year.
Yeah.
I mean, they're right there, and the Jets are on the upswing.
Oh,
no question.
Oh, there's
about
no one that doesn't think that.
it. No, so and Cleveland's on the upswing.
You know
so
what else I heard is going to be better? Are the Buffalo Bills.
They will be.
Well,
So
you
more-
think-
yeah,
I heard they made a lot of changes.
They got they got
And you
good
like
players.
quarterback.
You know, I love Allen. You know
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
I love
you
Allen
like
a
him.
lot. Mm-hmm.
All right, let's talk NBA a little bit. You know, the fact that it's not that far away tells you season's too long. That's all you
Oh,
need
yes.
to know. They could cut that thing down to 70 games, start a month later.
I
and
wish
they'd
they
be
would.
much better. No,
I bet much-
because once they kick off in 2 weeks, no one's going to know, and no one's going to pay any attention till the college football championship.
It is not.
And you know what? There's 2 weeks this year. I
Yes.
just heard that the other day. They're playing the semifinals New Year's Eve, and I think they're playing the
2 weeks
finals
off.
the 12th.
That's a long wait too.
It's getting like the
So that game will not be good either.
No, it won't be good.
Yeah, exactly.
No, you're exactly
The
right.
NBA, George, because I'm not a big NBA guy, but I wouldn't even think about when they reported. Like that means zero
And
to
it's
me.
not that far
You better
away.
be a really big fan to know when because the NBA.
I'm going to make a prediction right here, too. This team that's going away to play in September, they're getting spanked.
they don't have good.
I'm
good
going to be.
players.
I'm going to be right here.
think you're probably
I'm
right,
going to be
though.
the ugly American.
I would think you're right.
I mean, it appears that nobody wants
None
to
of the players
play.
want to be there. No,
And then secondly,
it's changed completely.
yeah,
It
there's
has.
talent everywhere.
I'll
else.
say the Olympics they might want to go to, but the World Games, I don't think they.
No, I
really
think
care
they'll go
much
to the
about it.
Olympics. You got a good
Yeah,
point there. But I just don't know what in the world's going on. When you read that roster and you think, oh my, nothing wrong with these guys.
Yeah.
But the rest of the world's players too.
Yeah, they have really good players. Everybody knows that now. See, before they used to make fun. You know, you go play Yugoslavia now. You play
Dream team,
Spain,
yeah,
you'll
yeah.
find out in a hurry.
Yeah, go play
Yes.
Argentina.
Yes.
Golf. Thank God, little Bobby, we don't have to see all those goat emojis and all that.
We're
noise.
seeing him again. I'll
Well,
still say
I
that. It was a
hope
fluke.
not.
I know that.
Listen to this. There were 60-some golfers. All but 2 were par and under. The dude that won was $9 trillion under.
Right, he was.
And he couldn't make the cut.
Yeah, and I haven't read that he said he's had a bad back.
Oh,
again.
he's got a bad back.
Okay.
Bad shoulder.
He never said
Neck,
bad back when he won.
back.
Did he never say he had bad back when he won?
Neuralgia, hypnasia, morosia, whatever.
We're talking
he's
about
got.
Tiger. You guys love your Tiger. I get that.
I know.
And he does make golf go completely. He's the face of the game of golf, but he always has treated people meanly and madly. He has always made excuses. I don't like that. I'm not much for that.
Remember the old days when he would win a tournament and say, I have my C game.
Yes.
Now, even though you might have had your C game,
He just rubbing it in people's face.
why would you say, why would
He
you
liked
say, you know,
rubbing people's
another good
face.
game today? I had some lucky, had some good shots.
Yes.
Maybe didn't feel it all, but you don't need to get on there and say, I won this tournament with my C game.
They are saying, now because I don't know him personally, They are saying that through his troubles and through his perils, he has become a nicer person.
Let's say this about
I hope that's true.
his troubles and perils. Who brought him all on?
He did.
You know, some people have
Yeah,
circumstances.
he did.
No,
he did.
no.
His decision making was not good.
No, he's done some things.
Right.
As a, you know, and as a family, I can't see how any family. That's what I got a buddy, and that's my big issue with him. And I said to him, "You're a family man. I see your tweets on vacation and going back to college, and you know that all that's the carrying this furniture up the dorm steps. How can you deal with this guy?"
They overlooked that completely, though.
Well, they obviously
completely. They don't. They
well,
don't.
nobody.
That doesn't go hand in hand.
Did he
with
lose
them.
a couple sponsorships?
They see
at
him.
all?
Yeah, they see him as a golfer. They don't see anything else.
And I would think the women.
They don't see it at all.
If ever there was a guy who would be polarizing, I would think the women can't stand him.
With the golf club, huh?
Yeah, oh, yeah. Oh,
Yes.
Yeah, Elin, she was practicing her
was
9-iron. All right, let's talk NCAA football. By the way, look for our preview. It's coming. We have done this since we've been on here for many, many years, and we're going to continue. We don't give you the pablum that they give you on, channel 850 or whatever channel you're watching. We try to give it to you like we see it. Sometimes it's similar, sometimes it's not, but we will stand by it. It's 1 week away. Now this week, 0 and all this nonsense. I could do without that. I know in football over our way, Sharon and Wilmington, don't tell them it's week 0.
Right.
Because they're going to line up.
Yeah, they don't put a number behind it when you're coaching. They don't put a number when we're fans like us. We just like football. And we are really excited that it's coming. We will say this, that of all the sports we cover, this is the one we know the best. We do the best with our predicting, with our thoughts. And you want to see our football forecast, because you'll see about 3 or 4 teams in there that only we like. And you can maybe make some money on down the road on those teams.
Let's talk about that for a minute with how college is so different. We were just talking about the Rams not taking their players to Hawaii for an exhibition game with the Cowboys. College doesn't have any. Like Coach Pelini, he's going to go to Samford, and he better not see too many surprises.
Yeah, they're practicing right now, trying to find as many films they can on every opponent they have, because these games count. And that is our theme for college football, why we like it the most. Every week's a playoff week. Every week is a alumni's down your throat. There's no like, oh, that's okay, coach. Nope. You better ready to play every game that
Florida, Miami, week 1. What are you seeing? You got a new coach at Miami. He took the Temple job for 48 hours, found out Mark Richt was quitting, and jumped right back to Miami. He's a local guy. He's going to bring that heritage. I think the Cuban population is going to get behind him. Miami has lost their fan base. When they had the swagger, that was fine. But there's been nothing to be swagger about in the last few years.
No, on paper, Florida's the better team. But once again, we don't know. We can predict, we can guess. But I'm saying Miami defensively is going to play outstanding. They're playing a freshman quarterback against the speed of Florida. That's tough. That is really tough defense.
No.
Try to go against that.
I got my choice.
Mm-hmm. That's tough.
But he did beat that kid out from Ohio State.
Yeah, he did. He beat Martell out. And the Franks kid, we're not high on him for Florida.
No.
He's a quarterback. He has played.
Yeah.
And he did beat the crap out of Michigan last year in the bowl game. But I'm still not high on him.
Yeah.
I'm still not high on
No,
him.
we don't like. Hawaii, Arizona, I think some surprise maybe from Hawaii. They have a few more people back than people realize. Anytime you go there, you wonder if your team's got their nose in their
Yeah, it has to be.
You know, if they're not out there doing the hanky-panky, you're all right. If they're up there messing around, you could have trouble.
Yeah, Arizona, Coach Sumlin better have them ready, because Hawaii gets you early in the year. They're ready to go. Now, Arizona's talent is going to be way more than Hawaii's. No question about it. They have a quarterback that's coming back with Tate, who has great reputation and a great player. But something happens when they go to Hawaii. You better, we don't know what it is. We probably think it's all the distractions.
Yeah, the
but
weather.
You better be ready to go. There's no question about that.
Well, at least the guys from Arizona, the heat won't be.
That won't bother them. That's right.
Won't be as bad.
Yep.
Yes, I understand as far as going there, but what I don't know is what they're doing in between.
Right.
What's after the meetings? Are they sneaking out the window? Are they? No, you know what I mean.
I know. It's Hawaii.
Yeah.
That's all. It's
Seemed
Hawaii.
like, oh, we're here now. Let's take advantage.
Yes.
And I like when Navy and Army go over there. I keep thinking to myself, the boys will be on
They're marching
track.
to their dorm.
Yeah, they're marching.
They're marching, yes.
They're guys. MMA, Miocic wins that title back from Cormier. Albert, these guys fighting 5-minute rounds. Honest to God. don't know how these guys can even hold their hands
That's hard.
up in round. These guys both come in 10 pounds lighter. Now they're still in the 230s.
Right.
These are monster men. These are men that with one shot just put you into Neverland. But as it turns out, he avenges it, and he's the champion again. And I look for Cormier to retire. He's 40 years old. He's excellent in the commentary. He has a great personality, but at the same time, the way these guys brutalize each other, you don't even care for the sport at all.
Do they make a lot of money in that sport, George?
Yeah, but not like boxing.
I was wondering if they made us money. No, they don't. Okay,
A guy like Mayweather, who owns his own production, like Sugar Ray Leonard, these guys didn't let Don King dig into him.
Gotcha.
See, they were smart. Like Mike Tyson, he let Don
All the
King
money
dig
taken away
in
from
there.
him, yes.
Yeah, these guys didn't do it. About 4 minutes with our miscellaneous part. Let's talk about that Little League World Series. I can't watch it.
Oh, you don't like that, Pete?
Not one bit.
How about 5 of my friends? That's what they tell them to watch, and they love it so much. That's what ESPN knows. They learned that.
Oh, yeah.
That for one like George, they won't put it on.
Won't.
There's 5 others that can't wait to see how those kids play.
I was eating lunch the other day, and they had it on, and I'm thinking, could you change it? I said, really? I said, talk about, taking advantage. And, it doesn't cost a dime. All they got to do is pay the
Right.
The players aren't making anything. The volunteers, the umpires, it's all cash. And they're exploiting these little kids and showing their mother and dad and their little sisters and Bronco Billy, the neighbor that taught them how to hit the ball. That's like this thing on Twitter where they show their kid pitching the baseball.
That's always all over the place.
Here, look, I don't want to.
That's all over the place.
Say that's fine, but I don't want to see it. I can change the channel, ESPN.
And that's what you do.
You're
right. That's right.
I just changed the channel. Too little about just garbage.
And see, they like the people who like it like that the kids are.
Yeah, they make mistakes.
Getting the
Oh, the limelight. The
the kids are getting. They like that the kids are having fun getting that. So that's what. And if there's a TV station that has it on.
Oh yeah.
They know they're.
Last night that game from the Little League, Archer was sitting there messing around with the kids. It was cute.
No, they love that. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They love that.
Get somebody out,
about
Archer. Jack Whitaker passes one of the true gentlemen and a true journalist in a world of yelling and screaming sports talk. Hey! This guy was a scholar and a gentleman.
Yeah, and that's what he was known as when he did his games. That he articulated every statement with class. You would never see him in a negative mood. You'd always see him talking, and he really studied what he was going to do. His viewpoint ahead of time, George, was well taken.
He's a legend too. When the guys like Lupica rave about you, you were special.
Right.
Brown, finally the Raiders yesterday. Mayock, who we don't care for anyway, finally said, "Look, you're in or you're out."
They should have known that, though.
No, but here's the thing: he's not good. You think you think their ego, Gruden and Mayock, and it is massive. Of course, $10 million a year for Gruden, $100 million salary. Do you really think they thought they could change him, or do you think they just figured we'll put up with him?
Put up with him. Yeah,
You can't change
There's no
them.
way to change anybody.
No.
There's no way in the pros of changing.
No.
Zero. You think
I agree.
Their ego's like an eighth compared to Brown, so there is no chance. But they're waiting for Sunday afternoon to come around.
3 weeks.
He has
Monday
10
night,
catches.
He opens for 118.
Yeah, that's all they want.
Last thing we'll finish on that. Anybody who thinks they can make these guys listen is delusional. It tells you they must have put the Steelers through just all kinds of garbage.
I know he did. And Ben, that bothers me because I said that a long time. Roethlisberger's got a bad rap. I just think he played for you, George. No, how long would you stay?
No, that guy yesterday for the Braves. I got a new favorite, Snicker. The guy didn't run the ball out. Out.
Yeah, that's what you do.
There you go.
That's
hey,
what
thanks
you do.
again for watching Bottom Line Sports Talk. See you next week.